Okay, good morning, Lagos, Nigeria world, and here we are, gone past 6:30 on a holiday Monday. It is Business Express with Rotus joining me. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Sope. Good morning to everybody. Happy Democracy Day. Hope everybody's good.
Belated. Yeah, they're good. They're on holiday, Rotus. We're here.
Yes,
We're
indeed.
working. It's all good.
Yes,
We
indeed.
drive the economy. People need to think about media. Okay,
Indeed.
so let me tell you real quick how you can join us. If you're not in your car on your way to work, you can find us on YouTube. I'm sure you're already up on YouTube right now. YouTube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos. You can leave a comment up on this live stream. Hi, YouTube. You can also send your messages in via WhatsApp. The number for that is 0809 440 981. And of course, we're on Twitter at Smooth981FM. Tag us in your comments. We'll get you and your messages read on the show. All right, Rotus, let's get into lots happening.
Yes, well, we're discussing the impact of electioneering on the economy. Dr. Muda Yusuf, who is the founder and CEO of the Center for Promotion of Private Enterprise, the CPPE, put out a statement where he was talking about how electioneering in Nigeria has various impacts on the economy. There's also the Africa CEO Forum that's taking place in Abidjan today and tomorrow. Vice President Sivanjo is heading off there. Nana Akufo Ghana is going to be there. Other African leaders pretty much talking about how private enterprise can, promote economic, or rather promote economic improvement for different African nations. And then some fitness news. Fitness Central, which has been in operation in Nigeria now since I think 2000 and the last 7 years. I think has been acquired by another fitness company. So that's what I guess, time willing, we get
discussing.
Yeah. So on the as far as the Center for Promotion of Private Enterprise is concerned, there were a number of bullet points that Dr. Muda Yusuf listed with respect to how electioneering in Nigeria can impact the economy. One is the exchange rate. I mean, the mopping up of dollars that we've seen, which is allegedly being paid out to delegates for the primaries, you've seen the exchange rates pretty much depreciate, right? And so the way it works is there's a whole mop up of FX in order to allegedly pay out for electioneering, which reduces the supply of FX in the pool, and then delegates allegedly again then convert that back to naira, for whatever uses that they have, which then theoretically increases supply. But when it comes to the exchange rates, the cost goes up like a rocket and then comes down like a feather. So it doesn't come down as quickly as it goes up. So that's one.
Love that analogy, by the way, because it's happening.
In fact, it's the same for prices for pretty much everything else in Nigeria. They shoot up and then they just take their time to come down. He talks about how electioneering distracts government from governing, because almost all politicians are thinking about how they can stay in office and running for office here left and right. So that distracts them from the actual job of overseeing the economy. He says heated rhetoric can lead to violence, which deters investment. We've seen all these terrible tragedies that have been happening across the country, most recently in the Southwest, in Owo. In fact, inflationary impacts. There's also inflationary impact of election spending. So it's not just mopping up of FX and paying it out and then having it converted back. The increased spending theoretically can lead to demand pull inflation, where you've got a lot of few goods being chased around by funds, which then push up their price.
Like all of those bags of rice that we see suddenly shoot up in price. I see where that could happen. Even as you're talking about pre-election violence, one of my top stories from my segment right before Business Express, when I was doing the news, is talking about how police deployed anti-riot men in Ado-Ekiti over pre-election violence. So, that's the kind of headlines that I've been seeing on a regular basis recently.
Right. And I mean, Ekiti State is a promising state with respect to agriculture and other economic sectors. It leads to uncertainty as far as where you want to deploy money, or at least you wait and pull back until things are completed and whoever has won, and then you can hopefully get to governing. So, I mean, Dr. Muda Yusuf also mentioned the fact that investment is going to just pull back and wait.
Because
I
we've
mean,
seen that happen before, right? We saw that happen in the elections where 2015, right? Where everybody was just like, what is going to happen?
right, right.
And everything stopped for a good
Exactly.
long time.
Exactly. And so you can imagine how much we need for infrastructure, what we need for a variety of things to be improved. So when uncertainty clouds investment, it's not going to move, it's going to wait. And so that is a critical time in which money can be deployed to certain sectors, and it's not going to move there because they're going to wait. There's a wait and see approach. And then I think you also talked about corruption and the risk of state resources being deployed for the purpose of elections. Again, opportunity costs of the money that could be used elsewhere for development. You have, allegedly certain, individuals in positions of power using state resources to fund their election campaigns, and then just generally economic reform initiatives being stalled. So those are essentially what he pointed to with respect to how that can impact the country. So we've got so many more months to go until next year. One just hopes that things keep chugging along, but with respect to how things are now, it's just we're in full political season. On the flip side, though, he did mention sectors of the economy that benefits from election.
I'm interested in this. All right.
Yeah, I mean, he talked about event planners that handle logistics for political rallies. He mentioned media houses. He said media houses, advertising agencies, social media influencers. They also benefit as well from election spending. He talked about essentially, motivational, well, not really motivational speakers, but people who are involved in brand management. So really ad agencies, corporate communications firms.
So how much of a drop or bucket in the ocean is this? I just want to know. Is it like 75% of the ocean of our economy?
Well, I mean, it flows through. It's a
influencers, promotional speakers.
It's a decent amount. I mean, when you talk about as far as the event planners, media, advertising, those sectors, those guys tend to make quite a bit from these electoral periods because of the amount of spending that goes towards organization of these big rallies, that goes towards advertising, that goes towards all these other debates where these candidates meet on particular platforms and debate each other. So those ones, but as it's not something that flows through the entire economy, but those sectors, do benefit. So he mentioned that as well. I think it's important to mention that it wasn't all a doom and gloom outlook as far as what election spending means for the economy.
There's hope on the horizon, people.
Indeed. Then there's the Africa Investment Forum, Africa CEO Forum, taking place today and tomorrow in Abidjan. Does the forum really do anything? I mean, a bunch of CEOs get together with heads of state. They talk about how private enterprise can promote better economic management, ease of doing business, the usual stuff. So Vice President Osibanjo is off to Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire today. He'll be there until I think he'll come back either later today or tomorrow. And that's really what's happening. It's just another forum.
I feel as though, and that's the thing with these forums, right? It's supposed to be an opportunity for you to sit down and have face to faces and get something out of the works. For example, if a Vice President Yemi Osinbajo goes there and a President Nana Akufo-Addo is there, shouldn't one of them be coming back home with something?
Yeah, but then
no.
Well, they could allow some deals. But then again, it goes back to the first thing we just talked about. if Vice President Sibanjo comes to Abidjan, you're a business owner or you're a company and you're like, okay, I've been thinking of investing in Nigeria. The Vice President, I met him at the CEO forum, we talked. But then I'm going to ask him about the elections, and I'm going to say, oh, if he tries to pitch anybody on investing in Nigeria, they'll probably say, yeah, okay, just hold that for 5 seconds. Let's wait until after your elections are done.
Come to me in the third quarter of 2023.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if we sign any deals, So that's what you would see. That's the impact of what elections have. So I doubt it comes back with anything, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm watching Ghana. They always have something.
Yeah, they always do. We'll see if anything comes out of that.
All right, real quick, let me get this message in from Benga Komu, who says, I hope those event planners get their money before the political events take place. And if they don't, or if they didn't and their principals lose at the primaries, that is double jeopardy for them. That's up on WhatsApp.
Yeah, if you're hosting an event for anybody, whether it's a politician or a private business or somebody getting married, I would hope that you would get at least half of your money up front, and then the other half once the event is concluded, or in fact, the entire thing up front, so that there's no long stories afterwards.
Yeah, because that's something that event planners talk about, and people in media talk about as well, that usually what will happen is at first you need to get as much as possible, because later on, after the event or the fact, there's stories.
Exactly.
Super stories of that.
Yeah, you want to get that out there. And then, Fitness Central, fitness company that's been in Nigeria now for a number of years. I think 2015, 16.
They've been around for a good long while.
Yeah. They've apparently been acquired by Pure Fitness Africa, a company that was one of the initial investors when they first moved into, or rather they opened up in Nigeria. And they said, management is going to stay in place, but Pure Fitness Africa will be doing some renovations and be, changing a few things here and there. As far as operations for, people who go there, nothing's going to change. But you're seeing more investments, I guess, or interest in fitness translating into businesses that are showing more interest in the Nigerian space. There was the Arnold Sports Africa that took place in South Africa just a week ago or so, which is like a bodybuilding thing that happens in other countries, Europe and the US. It just took place in South Africa.
Okay.
There's some promise there as far as fitness is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, there's one particular fitness chain that just came in and kind of is everywhere now.
Yeah.
That made me think, okay, all right, I see the space really opening up. And I know that this particular one that we've just spoken about, when it first came up, got like a cult following, and they're still there despite some changes in management that came out of the whole horrible bosses thing. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, horrible boss or not, they've tried. They've actually tried, and
when you've got a young population that is into fitness, there's an opportunity to build a business on that. There's still the infrastructure, like how much you spend on power and so on and so forth. But that notwithstanding, there's promise. Just got to get the power thing not sorted out. To sort out power, Nigeria the economy just goes up like that.
And I still remember back in the days, although we've run out of time, I still remember back in the days when trying to actually have gym membership was like reaching into your pocket and pulling out your heart and telling them, take it. That's the most valuable thing I have in my body. But then we started seeing with the popularity rise, started seeing prices going down, which means more and more people then have access to affordable fitness centers as well. So that's a big thing, especially in our nation that loves salt.
Exactly. So more for the competition, the better for the consumers as far as lower prices are concerned.
And very quickly, I read this last message from Benga, who says, do African countries implement those things they decide at those conferences? Is doing business on the African continent and even at ECOWAS level easy?
Good question. Good question.
All right, Rotus, we're done for a holiday Monday. See you tomorrow. Everybody else will be back at work along with us. All right, 6:30 tomorrow.